Welcome to Orchid and Bee's crochet channel. Today we are going to learn about the slanted puff stitch. I use this stitch in my Bella bead blanket pattern as well as in my Mommy and Me waffle blanket border. This is what the slanted puff stitch looks like on a small swatch. The puff stitch has been pulled forward to the left side. When you work a traditional puff stitch, it will be vertical, like as you see in the top example. When it's pulled forward, it makes this neat slanted look. To make the swatch, you will need some worsted 4-weight yarn, an H 5mm hook, and you will want to make a chain of 11 and then make one row of 10 half double crochets. You can pause the video to make your row of 10 half double crochet. Now that we have our row of 10 half double crochets, we are going to skip the first stitch and work a double crochet. In the skip stitch, we are going to go back and we are going to work a puff stitch. So we're going to yarn over, pull up one loop, yarn over again, pull up another loop, yarn over, pull up another loop, yarn over one more time, and then pull up a loop. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through all of the loops on our hook. Now that we've worked our puff stitch, we are going to skip a stitch and work another double crochet stitch. And like we did before, after we complete our double crochet stitch, we are going to go back and work in the stitch space that we skipped to make another puff stitch. We yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up another loop, yarn over, pull up another, and yarn over one last time and pull up a loop. After you've yarned over your 4th time, you will have 9 loops on your hook. And then to finish the stitch, you will just yarn over and pull through all 9 loops. And again, we are going to just repeat this process all the way across. Because we have 10 stitches, we will end with 5 slanted puff stitches. So we skipped our stitch, we're doing a double crochet, we're going to work our puff stitch in the skipped space, and we will repeat this sequence in the last 4 stitches to get our last 2 puff stitches. So I am going to speed up the video to get to the end. You can pause it here while you're completing your swatch. Okay, now we have reached the end of our swatch, and you can see that we have 5 completed slanted puff stitches. There really is just no comparison to the traditional puff stitch. In the top example, you can see where I worked a puff stitch, then a double crochet, then a puff stitch, then another double crochet, and I repeated that across. Whereas in the bottom, when you skip the stitch and work the puff stitch in the skipped place, it creates a beautiful definition of the puff stitch. If you are someone who prefers diagrams, here is a diagram that you can follow to help you understand how the slanted puff stitch is made. Starting from the bottom, you skip a stitch, work a double crochet. Then in the second from the bottom illustration, you go back and work the puff stitch in the skipped stitch space. Then in the third from the bottom picture, you will continue by skipping a stitch and working another double crochet. And in the 4th illustration from the bottom, which is the top picture, you will go back and work your puff stitch in that skipped stitch space. If you find this diagram helpful, you can pause the video and work from the bottom to the top. Thank you for joining me today to learn how to do the slanted puff stitch. I really hope you enjoy working this into some of your beautiful projects. If you would like to see more of Orchid and Bees patterns, feel free to visit us at www.orchidandbees.com. And before you go, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks and have a great day.